Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, I am Ahmed Mumtaz Mustahsan, your teacher for CSE 141 Introduction to Computer Programming. In the last lecture, I demonstrated you to set up a Visual C environment on your personal computers, or where you are supposed to take up the hands-on exercises. We started with the demonstration, and at the end of the demonstration I also explained you how you can execute your program in this environment. I have not explained the program in detail, so today I will start with the explanation of that program. Okay, this was the program that you copy from your slides, and I instructed you to place it in the environment, and then remember, you compile it and link it and executed it. But we done all these three steps by using simple command called the build command. In this program, the first two statements, hash sign include iostream and hash sign include conio called console.io.h, which is a header file, so I did not explain, and I promised to explain it in the next lecture. So today I would like to explain this, which we called last time as a preprocessor directives or preprocessing directives. So preprocessing directives performed by the program called preprocessor. This preprocessor modifies the source code in the RAM according to the directive, according to the preprocessor directive. And these preprocessor directives has preprocessing commands which are embedded in the source code. This preprocessor by default removes all the white spaces. Do you remember? What are the white spaces? White spaces we called space, tab, carriage return, that we used to explain, used to make the program more prominent, more readable, and to make it more attractive, you can say. So this preprocessor directives removes all the white spaces. The modification carried out by the preprocessor directive does not save the output onto the disk. So it performs whatever it is supposed to do, some action item which are to be taken by default, and some which are instructed through preprocessing commands. But it does not save the output onto the disk, rather it passes on the output of the preprocessing to the compiler. So your source code, which is saved on the disk, remains unchanged. A quick revision of the compilation. Compilation is done by a program called compiler that translates your source code into an object code. An object code is called machine code. It checks the syntax according to the language. As I explained you last time, that you have got a compiler for each language. So you can have a compiler of C language, you can have a compiler of C++ language, or you may have a compiler of Fortran language. So it checks the syntax according to the syntax of that particular language. It saves the object code onto the disk, provided there are no errors or you have instructed it to save the object code. The object code file can even be generated if the compiler generates some warning messages for you. लेकिन अगर कंपाइलर कोई एरर मैसेज जनरेट करेगा तो ऑब्जेक्ट कोड जो है वो डिस्क पर सेव नहीं होगा. However, अगर वार्निंग मैसेजेस होंगे तो स्टिल अगर आपकी इंस्ट्रक्शन है कि ऑब्जेक्ट कोड को सेव किया जाए तो ये ऑब्जेक्ट कोड को सेव करेगा, और बाय डिफॉल्ट इट विल सेव द ऑब्जेक्ट कोड सो दैट द नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम व्हिच इज कॉल्ड द लिंकर should be able to use it. This object code is basically operating system dependent. Means कि object code for every different hardware might be different. Similarly, object code for different platform means operating system is different. So if you have a Linux or Windows operating system, then the object code compiled by the operating system will not be executed other than some other operating system. But still, you can learn to generate an object code which is machine independent or which could be platform independent. But this will do, or this we will learn maybe at the end of this particular course. Linking. Last time we said that the linker, which is a program that converts the object code to an executable code. So the linker basically combines the library files, supporting object code which are provided into the libraries, or you may combine your different object code and you would like to produce one single executable code. So the object code files can come from the runtime libraries or other libraries that you might have created by yourself, or the object files that you have created. And the result of the linker program is saved onto the disk, so that next time or in future, if you want to execute the program, you are not supposed to go through all the phases of compilation and linking. So whenever you have got an executable code, you can run it as many times as you like. Like the object code, the linker does not generate an executable code if there are some linking errors. अब ये लिंकिंग एरर किस किस्म के हो सकते हैं? ऑब्वियसली मैंने आपको बताया था कि लिंकर जो है वो एड्रेस ट्रांसलेशन करता है, मेमोरी की ट्रांसलेशन करता है, मेमोरी की लोकेशन की ट्रांसलेशन करता है, मैप करता है प्रोग्राम के एक पार्ट को दूसरे पार्ट के साथ. सो इफ समथिंग इज मिसिंग, सम library functions are missing, some definitions are missing, then it will generate some error messages. And if there are some error messages, then there is no use of generating the executable code because you won't be able to execute it properly. Therefore, if there are certain error messages, then the linker does not generate any executable. So, dear students, now you should know what an editor does. क्या करता है एडिटर? It produces the source file. आप एडिट करते हैं, टाइप करते हैं, अपने एल्गोरिदम को कन्वर्ट करते हैं लैंग्वेज के अंदर. Then you use the editor to key in your program into the environment so that you can produce the object code, executable code. Preprocessor modifies the source code. but does not save it onto the disk, क्योंकि वो आपके लिए यूजफुल नहीं है. Compiler converts the object code into the machine code. So, sorry, the compiler converts the source code into the object code. ठीक है, होता तो ये मशीन कोड ही है, लेकिन ये अभी आप उसको एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर सकते. तो आउटपुट जो है कंपाइलर की इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट कोड और ऑब्जेक्ट फाइल. लिंकर की इनपुट क्या है? ऑब्जेक्ट फाइल. आउटपुट क्या है? एग्जीक्यूटेबल कोड. कंपाइलर की इनपुट क्या है? सोर्स फाइल. और आउटपुट क्या है? ऑब्जेक्ट फाइल. So I hope you have now understood what are the functions of an editor, preprocessor, compiler and linker. So last time मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया था the structure of the C program. बड़ी क्विकली उसको पास ऑन कर दिया था because the purpose was just to demonstrate you how can you execute your first program. Now, in the beginning of this lecture, I will explain you the basic structure of the C program. टॉप पे तो आपने देखा हैश साइन इंक्लूड आईओ स्ट्रीम, ये तो प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव्स हो गए. यूजिंग नेम स्पेस, ये भी आपका प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव हो गया. So we start with a program called void main. Every C program consists of functions, one or more functions. बहुत ज़्यादा functions भी हो सकते हैं, एक अकेला function भी हो सकता है. But one function which is mandatory and has got a default name is called main. Main एक default function है and it is mandatory. Why it is mandatory? Because the operating system transfers the control from the operating system to your main function. इस main function के साथ, if you see in the beginning, we have used a keyword called void. Do you remember what is void? Void is a data type, which means nothing. Every function in C language is supposed to return something, supposed to return some data or supposed to return some output. But there could be a function, they may not return anything. अब मेन को कंट्रोल मिला है ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम से. अब ये मेन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को कुछ रिटर्न नहीं कर रहा. सो जब ये कुछ रिटर्न नहीं कर रहा तो ये क्या रिटर्न कर रहा है? इट इज रिटर्निंग नथिंग. और एक स्पेशल डेटा टाइप है जिसको हम कहते हैं नथिंग, उसका नाम है void. So void main means the main function is not returning anything to the program which has called this function. और इस फंक्शन को किसने कॉल किया? ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम ने कॉल किया. प्रोग्राम के अंदर वी हैव गॉट वन स्टेटमेंट, सी आउट, हेलो वर्ल्ड, टर्मिनेटेड बाय सेमीकोलन. ये जो सी आउट है, दिस इज कॉल्ड एन स्टेटमेंट. एवरी स्टेटमेंट इन ए सी प्रोग्राम must be terminated by a semicolon. याद रहेगा? A statement in C is terminated by semicolon. ये mandatory है. Next, ये brackets क्या है? curly brackets, braces. इनको कहते हैं delimiters. आपको पता है कि कर्ली ब्रैकेट, ओपनिंग कर्ली ब्रैकेट एंड क्लोजिंग कर्ली ब्रैकेट. सो ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ब्रेसेस और कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स मार्क द स्टार्ट एंड एंड ऑफ ए कोड. अब यहां पे कोड क्या है? आपका मेन फंक्शन है. तो कर्ली ब्रैकेट मार्क कर रही हैं स्टार्ट ऑफ द कोड और दूसरी कर्ली ब्रैकेट मार्क कर रही है एंड ऑफ द कोड. ये कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स हम यूज करेंगे डिफरेंट ब्लॉक्स के अंदर भी। और ब्लॉक कौन कौन से हो सकते हैं? ब्लॉक्स कुड बी योर इफ स्टेटमेंट ब्लॉक हो सकता है, फॉर लूप का ब्लॉक हो सकता है, और देयर कुड बी फ्यू मोर ब्लॉक्स, स्विच स्टेटमेंट का ब्लॉक हो सकता है। वी विल डिस्कस इट इन डिटेल व्हेन वी विल रीच टू दीज टॉपिक्स। सो वी आर डिस्कसिंग द सिंटैक्स। एक टर्म यूज करते हैं सी के अंदर जिसको कहते हैं वाइट स्पेस। अभी चंद मिनट पहले प्री प्रोसेसर की डायरेक्टिव्स में मैंने ये टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज की थी। वाइट स्पेस मैंने आपको बताया था क्या होता है। वाइट स्पेस कुड बी अ स्पेस, कुड बी अ टैब, कुड बी अ कैरी रिटर्न, कुड बी अ न्यू लाइन। C pays no attention to the white space characters encountered in a program। यही वजह है कि प्री प्रोसेसर जो है वो सारे के सारे वाइट स्पेसेस को रिमूव कर देता है। सो यू कैन पुट एज मेनी वाइट स्पेसेस एज यू वांट। तो उसका पर्पस क्या हुआ? पर्पस मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था कि ये प्रोग्राम की रीडेबिलिटी को इंप्रूव करता है। ओके, सो आप देख सकते हैं कि यहां पर कैरी रिटर्न यूज हुआ है। देन ये दिस इज द कैरी रिटर्न, दिस इज बेसिकली द स्पेस न्यू लाइन। यहां पे भी हमने यूज किए मल्टीपल ऑफ न्यू लाइन्स। सो यू कैन यूज इट just to increase the readability of your program. Next is indentation. You can stretch your program vertically as much as you like by putting new lines and carry returns characters. That will make your code more readable. So indentation, blocks of code and closing braces या brackets या curly brackets is an important aspect of making the program more readable. अब यही प्रोग्राम है, if you see it at the end, अब सारे white spaces निकाल दे तो your program will look like this. Okay, so above program and this program has one and the same impact. दोनों एक ही तरह एग्जीक्यूट होंगे। Okay, so we have discussed some basic syntax of the C language. Let us take up the next topic, which is the variable names. हमने इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट के अंदर वेरिएबल्स को डिफाइन करने की कोशिश की थी और मैंने आपको बताया था नेम असाइन टू मेमोरी लोकेशन। किसी भी मेमोरी लोकेशन को आप कोई भी नाम असाइन कर सकते हैं, उसको हम कहते हैं वेरिएबल नेम्स। दीज आर लाइक कंटेनर्स। अब मेमोरी लोकेशन क्या है? मेमोरी लोकेशन इज एन एरिया वेयर यू पुट इन सर्टेन डेटा, वेयर यू कैन स्टोर सर्टेन डेटा that you may like to retrieve it. Retrieve किसे कहते हैं? To read out the data. दोबारा उस डेटा को पढ़ने को retrieve कहते हैं। So you can store values in memory locations. You can modify them as and when required. So name of the memory locations, name assigned to the memory locations are called variable names. अब वेरिएबल नेम जो है इट हैज गॉट सर्टेन वैल्यू। वो जो आप डेटा वेरिएबल के अंदर रखते हैं उसको कहते हैं वैल्यू ऑफ द वेरिएबल। जब आपने किसी वेरिएबल में डेटा रखना है, इफ यू वांट टू पुट सर्टेन डेटा आइटम्स इनटू द वेरिएबल, यू पुट द वेरिएबल ऑन लेफ्ट साइड, then you use an assignment operator which is equal, and then you put the data on the right side of that particular statement. So the left side of that statement is the L value. Okay. So L values are the values that can be on the left side of an assignment statement. So when we do an assignment statement, the left side of the assignment operator must be an L value, जो आपने उसको वैल्यू असाइन की है. R वैल्यू क्या है? जो कि राइट साइड के ऊपर है, जो कि आप असाइन करते हैं L वैल्यू को. सो हम कहते हैं कि an R value refers to any value that can be assigned to an L value. लेफ्ट साइड को जो आप असाइन करते हैं वो वैल्यू होती है जो आपने राइट साइड के ऊपर लिखी होती है. एग्जाम्पल्स: 7. You can say x is equal to 7. So 7 is assigned to x. जो x की प्रीवियस वैल्यू है वो खत्म हो जाएगी और उसको न्यू वैल्यू असाइन हो जाएगी which is 7. You can assign an expression to the variable. आप कह सकते हैं y is equal to x plus 5. तो x के जो प्रीवियस कॉन्टेंट्स हैं उसमें it will add 5. After adding 5, the result, suppose the previous contents were 2 and you said x plus 5, the expression will be evaluated to 7. So you will assign 7 to the variable which is placed on the left side of the assignment operator. I will give you few examples also. Can we say 3 is equal to 5? मैथमेटिकली भी नहीं कह सकते और सी लैंग्वेज में भी नहीं कह सकते. It is incorrect. Can we say x plus 1 is equal to y plus 2? No, ये भी नहीं कह सकते. Why? I just said कि left side पे you can only put the variable name. X plus 1 is an expression, so you cannot equate two expressions क्योंकि ये एक assignment operator के थ्रू आप इसको यूज कर रहे हैं. तो R वैल्यू जो है वो y plus 2 है. You cannot assign it to x plus 1. Similarly, x plus 5 is an expression. You cannot assign any variable content to an expression. हाँ, z is equal to y plus 4. This is correct. क्यों? क्योंकि R वैल्यू जो है that is an expression y plus 4 which you can assign to a variable L value, and L value is a variable which is z, so this is a correct assignment. When L value has assigned a R value, the current L value is overwritten. इससे पहले z में जो कुछ भी लिखा हुआ था वो खत्म हो जाएगा and new contents will be loaded into the variable z. Variables names को हम C language में use करते हैं terminology which is called identifiers. So variable names are identifiers. तो क्या सारे identifiers variable names हैं? नहीं. All the identifiers are not variable names. इसका मतलब है कुछ और चीजें भी हैं जिनको हम identifiers कह सकते हैं. Such as variable तो है ही हैं identifiers. Data types are also special variables जिनको identifiers कहते हैं. Constants, name assigned to the constants are identifiers. Name given to our functions are called identifiers. We said variable names are identifiers. अब हम identifiers को define करते हैं. Identifier can be defined as या can be defined using letters, numbers and underscore. So any combination of letters, numbers and underscore we can use to define any identifier. These identifiers are case sensitive. So अगर आप लिखते हैं SUM with lower case, it is different variable name as SUM where S is written in the upper case. Similarly, if you use all three characters in uppercase, SUM, it will be another variable name. So SUM, next SUM, and next SUM will be considered as three different variable names or three different identifiers in C language. You cannot name any identifier starting with a digit. So first name, where I have used one ST name, I read it out as first name is an illegal identifier because it is starting with a digit. Whereas the next one, divided by 10, here I have used two digits, 1 and 0, but this is legal because it is not starting with any digit. We can use a variable name that may start with underscore, but it is considered not a good practice because most of the variables that are used in the libraries, in the system calls, in the operating systems, to distinguish between the system defined variables and user defined variable, the system uses the underscore as the starting name of the identifier. So underscore valid system call, although it is legal, but we don't consider it as a good practice. Okay, you can define a variable name with any length, but only the first 32 characters determines the uniqueness of your variable. So I've used a really long name, more than 31 characters and characters. I've used two variable names which are slightly different but will be considered as the same variable name. क्यों? क्योंकि first 32 characters जो हैं they are the same. Similarly, you cannot use a space or a special character in your variable name. So gross space salary is considered as illegal क्योंकि it contains a space. Percentage rate is considered as illegal because we have used a special percentage character in the identifier name. Similarly, we should not use the keywords or the reserved words. We use some words to define certain information, certain data types, something in the compiler. So whatever words the compiler has already used are predefined words called keywords, and they have predefined meanings. So you cannot change the meanings of the identifiers or the keywords that the compiler has defined by itself. So I'll give you some keywords in this table. These are the keywords that has special meaning in C. You can add few more to complete the list in C++. This list is basically for the C. If you are confused with C and C++, I promise to explain you very shortly. So the identifiers could be the data types also. In C, we have 5 different data types. Integer, declared as int. So the compiler has defined integer data types by using a word int. This int has become a keyword or a reserved word for the compiler that is used to define a data type called integer. So all the data types which are written here, float, double, character, void, these are defined using the keywords called reserved words. Float defines a float data type. What is float data type? Float data type is a number containing a decimal point. Similarly, double, the same, but they have a slightly difference used by the compiler. So I will explain the difference between float and double in the next slide. Then we can use character with the keyword char. There is no data type that can be used as a string. So we will use this char, and I'll explain you later on, maybe somewhere in 12th or 13th lecture, where we will use these strings. But at this stage, it's sufficient है आपके लिए कि you should know how can we define a character using char keyword. Void defines nothing, but it's very important because there would be some functions that will not be returning anything, and we will call those functions as void function. Size and type of the data types. With the development of the computers, with the development of the hardwares, more recently you are getting the computers which are more powerful. So the definition of int, long, short also change. So we can say that int is a data type that is used to store integer data. Integer numbers, a number that does not contain any decimal point, int. So size of int is at least 16-bit, or commonly could be 32-bit. Long एक अलग से data type नहीं है, but we'll use it as a modifier of int, and we will use it in combination with int to define a data type having double capacity. तो अगर आपका int 16 का है तो long int 32 bits का हो जाएगा, और अगर आपका int 32 bit का है तो long int 64 bit का हो जाएगा. Short at least 8 bit. You can define signed and unsigned integers also by using the keyword unsigned. By default, the keywords are considered as integers are considered as signed integers. But अगर आप categorically unsigned integers use करना चाहते हैं, then you can use the keyword called unsigned. So you can define unsigned int that will tell the compiler that the next identifier which is going to be defined should have a data type integer which is unsigned, should be considered as unsigned integer. The negative numbers are stored in 2's complement. Once again, a concept that should be discussed as a concept of the computer concept, fundamentals of computer concept. So once again, I promise you to explain it maybe separately in some other lecture. Float. Size is 32-bit. Contains decimal point 1 to 5.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can have an accuracy up to 7 decimal places for a float which has a size of 32-bit. Double. When we say double, the precision is doubled. अब decimal places की जो accuracy है, that will be up to 15 decimal places. With float, you can have a precision up to 7 decimal places. But With double, you can have a precision up to 15 decimal places. So it doubles the precision of a float. So quickly, we have defined a data type integer, float, double, character, and void. So let us talk about character. You can define a character in an 8-bit character size. There are different codes which are used to define a character. Most commonly on your PC, it is ANSI, ANSCII, American National Standard Code for Information Interchange or Interchange Information. American National Standard Code for Interchange Information or Information Interchange. IBM machines used to have their own code. They called it as EBCDIC code, Extended Binary Coded Decimal Interchange Code. It was also 8-bit code. Now we have got another code which is called Unicode. इसकी भी क्या रीज़न है? फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ कंप्यूटर कॉन्सेप्ट्स में मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा कि हमें यूनिकोड की ज़रूरत क्यों पेश आई. Void, size of the void is 0 because it is nothing. It is just used to indicate that it does not contain any data, any information. So we have defined 5 different data types. Integer, used to store, process integer data. Float and double, used to process real data. Real means a data, a number that contains a decimal point. Character is used to store character data. So at this time we have only defined the data type that is used to represent one single character. But as I said, we will discuss the modification of this char data type to represent the string also. A string is a combination of multiple characters. Finally, the void. 5th data type is void, and we have already defined that void represents nothing, but it is very important to have this data type to define the functions. Size of the data type. I think I have already confused you in the previous slide by saying कि इंटीजर 16 बिट का भी हो सकता है, इंटीजर 32 बिट का भी हो सकता है. So how can you overcome this confusion? ये एक नेचुरल डेटा टाइप्स है जो 16 बिट और 32 बिट का भी हो सकता है डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर मशीन. So if you want to see what is the word size or what is the integer size of your machine, you can use a built-in function of C language which is size of. So you can say printf function in which you can use this. I will also explain what is printf later on. So एक function आपके पास मौजूद है C language में जिसको आप यूज कर सकते हैं to find out what is the size of int, float, double, character of default size of your compiler on the machine, on your hardware. Okay, ये 5 तो थे predefined data types. In addition to data types, there are some more concepts. These are like constants, but these are constants, literal constants and symbols are directives to the preprocessor. Literal क्या चीज है? Unnamed constants that appear literally in source code. For example, 385. You have used 385 as a constant. So this 385 is called as a literal. Constants. You can assign a name to a constant. 385 को आप कोई नाम भी दे सकते हैं. तो जो नाम आप 385 को देंगे, that is called a name. But this name is different from the variable name. It is just like variable name, but you cannot change the contents of this constant. So you will use a keyword const, C-O-N-S-T, before the data type. I'll give you the example in the next slide. Similarly, you can give a name to a constant through a preprocessor directives called define. So you can define means you can define any name to any numeric literals using define preprocessor directive. So the value remains the same. So these are the examples. Literally 125, you can use it as a constant in your program. You can use S, \T is a character. I will explain you, it is a special character which I will explain later on. Similarly, you can define any hexadecimal character by \XC. C is a hexadecimal character. C means 12, A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, F is 15. So this C means 12 is a hexadecimal character. You can use floating point 6.023, or you can use 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. You might remember this is a special number. You can also use 5e to the power 12. This is another notation, 5.0 into 10 to the power 12. So you can assign these literals as a name through using const keyword or by using the define keywords. So what the preprocessor directive does, preprocessor directives replace, for example, here we have used define radius 15.0. So we have defined a name to a constant और हमने इसका नाम रखा radius. Since we have defined it using define directive, so it is called a symbol. We have defined a constant using data type double pi, and we have used a word const before the data type, so this is called a constant. आपने constant का नाम रखा pi, which is equal to 3.14159, whereas 3.14159 is a literal, क्योंकि आप एक numeric value directly use कर रहे हैं. Now what will happen in the program? Wherever we have used a symbol or a constant, the preprocessor directive will replace the symbol with its value. तो जहाँ पे रेडियस लिखा हुआ होगा प्रीप्रोसेसर उसकी जगह पर 15.0 लिख देगा, और जहाँ पे पाई लिखा हुआ होगा वहाँ पे 3.14159 से रिप्लेस कर देगा. तो अगर प्रीप्रोसेसर ने इसको रिप्लेस करना है तो why we are using it? The answer is very simple. We are using it to make the program more readable. जब आपका सोर्स कोड कोई रीड आउट करेगा वो क्विकली उसे पता चल जाएगा कि you are using 15.0 as a radius and you are computing the circumference by using the formula 2 pi r and area by pi r square. So it makes the program more readable. Okay. Next, any operator has a function. We have assigned some function to each and every operator. प्लस क्या करता है? ऐड करता है. माइनस सब्ट्रैक्ट करता है. मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑपरेटर मल्टीप्लाई करता है और डिवाइड ऑपरेटर जो है वो डिवाइड करता है. Then we assign the precedence also. Precedence क्या है? कि in which order this operator should be executed. अब अगर हम देखें a multiply by b plus c multiply by d, what it will do? It will multiply a and b first, then it will multiply c and d, and then it will add the result. So इसने ये क्यों नहीं किया? a और b को मल्टीप्लाई करके c में ऐड किया, जो आंसर आ जाए उसको d से मल्टीप्लाई कर दे. No, it will not do like that, because multiplication has higher precedence over plus. तो जिस ऑपरेटर की प्रेसिडेंस हाई होगी relative to the other operator used in the expression, वो ऑपरेटर जो हैं पहले एग्जीक्यूट होंगे. So in this example, a multiplied by b में a multiplied by b will be executed first, then it will not add c, rather it will multiply c multiplied by d, because there is a competition between this multiplication, sorry, this operator plus and this multiplication. ये तो मल्टीप्लाई हो गया ना, a multiply by b. अब प्लस पहले होना है या मल्टीप्लाई पहले होना है? Since multiplication has a higher precedence over plus, so c multiplied by d will take place first, and then the result a multiplied by b का रिजल्ट जो है c multiplied by d वाले रिजल्ट के साथ ऐड हो जाएगा. ओके. एक तीसरी चीज भी होती है ऑपरेटर्स के लिए, जिसको कहते हैं एसोसिएटिविटी. एसोसिएशन क्या है उसकी? ये एसोसिएशन लेफ्ट से राइट जाती है या राइट से लेफ्ट जाती है? माइनस बी जो है ये ए के लिए है, या माइनस बी जो है माइनस जो है वो बी के लिए है, या माइनस ए के लिए है? ऑब्वियसली मैंने ऑलरेडी जवाब आपको बता दिया कि इट इज फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट. सो माइनस बी, minus is for b, minus c, minus is for c. So the order in which the operators of the same precedence combined. Same precedence आपको समझ में आएगा when I will take few examples. So we have talked about three things with the operator. Go back to the previous slide. One is called function. Second is called precedence, and third is called associativity. So you have to remember that every operator should have its prime function, then it should have some precedence level, then it should have some associativity. Okay. Coming back to our assignment operator, याद है? We have used L value which is equal to r value. So it evaluates right hand side x plus 5 called r value, which is set to equal to L value. So the left hand side is the variable which is equal to right hand side. Yeah, right hand side data is assigned to the left hand side. So इसकी associativity क्या हुई? From right to left. Do you remember? We have assigned certain expressions, arithmetic expressions, अब अरिथमेटिक एक्सप्रेशंस की बजाय वी कुड लाइक टू यूज इट विद मल्टीपल वेरिएबल्स. y इज इक्वल टू x इज इक्वल टू 5. वही किस सीक्वेंस में चले? राइट टू लेफ्ट, क्योंकि असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर की एसोसिएटिविटी है फ्रॉम राइट टू लेफ्ट. So first the 5 will be assigned to x, so x will have 5, then x is assigned to y, so the y will have a value equal to 5. So from right to left is the associativity. So I'll summarize here. We have a multiply, x multiplied by y, x multiplied by y. Association is from left to right. x को y से मल्टीप्लाई करना है आपने. x डिवाइड बाय y, लेफ्ट टू राइट. x ये परसेंटेज y, it has got a special meaning that I will explain it to you later on. इसको हम कहते हैं मॉडुलो, मॉडुलस या मॉडुलो. Basically it is used to pick up the remainder. जब हम x को y से डिवाइड करते हैं तो वी गेट दी कोशेंट, और अगर हम कोशेंट की बजाय रिमाइंडर में इंटरेस्टेड हो तो हम डिवाइड की जगह पर ये परसेंटेज सिंबल यूज करते हैं. सो मल्टीप्लिकेशन, डिवीजन एंड परसेंटेज हैव द सेम प्रेसिडेंस लेवल. सो whenever there is a competition between the operators having the same precedence level, तो prevail क्या करेगा? Who will be the winner? The winner will be whichever comes first from left to right. Okay, whichever comes from left to right, that is the precedence. So a multiplied by b multiplied by c, पहले क्या होगा? पहले a मल्टीप्लाई बाय b होगा और फिर b मल्टीप्लाई बाय c होगा. अगर हम कहें a मल्टीप्लाई बाय b डिवाइड बाय c, अब मल्टीप्लिकेशन एंड डिवीजन जो है दोनों एक लेवल के ऑपरेटर्स हैं, तो विनर कौन सा होगा? मल्टीप्लिकेशन या डिवीजन? द विनर विल बी द वन दैट कम्स फर्स्ट फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट. सो a मल्टीप्लाई बाय b डिवाइड बाय c में मल्टीप्लिकेशन कम्स फर्स्ट बिफोर डिवीजन. सो पहले a और b को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, जो आंसर आएगा उसको डिवाइड करेंगे c से. दिस इज कॉल्ड प्रेसिडेंस. सिमिलरली प्लस एंड माइनस हैव द सेम प्रेसिडेंस, and again if there is a competition, the winner will be whichever comes first from left to right. Addition, subtraction and multiplication works, you already know that. How do they work? Division को थोड़ा सा रिवाइज कर लेते हैं. The division operator returns the whole part of the division. Whole part किसे कहते हैं? Quotient को. So अगर हम कहें 12 divided by 3, the quotient is 4. So अगर हम 12 divided by 3 करेंगे, the answer will be 4. If we divide 15 by 2, the answer is 7. क्योंकि the quotient is 7. So let us talk about the modulus. Percent returns the remainder. 12 divided by 3 में आंसर आया था 4 because 4 was the quotient. 12 modulo 3 आंसर is 0 क्योंकि remainder is 0. तो इसका जो आंसर आएगा एक्सप्रेशन का वो आएगा 0. 15 modulo 2 the answer is 1 क्योंकि इसका इंटीजर रिमाइंडर जो बचेगा वो 1 होगा. So with modulo we can pick up the remainder. With slash we can pick up the quotient. Quickly take one example. 2 plus 3 multiplied by 4. अब आंसर क्या आना चाहिए? 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 multiplied by 4. Answer is 20. No. Why? Because 2 plus 3 multiplied by 4 contains two operators, where the precedence of multiplication is higher than plus. It's mean 3 multiplied by 4 will be calculated first, and then the answer will be added with 2. So the answer is equal to 14. लेकिन if you want कि 2 plus 3 पहले ऐड हो फिर से you multiplied by 4, you want कि 2 और 3 को ऐड करें पहले और आंसर जो है उसको 4 से मल्टीप्लाई करें. Yes, you can do that. कैसे? आपको यहां पर पैरेंथेसिस यूज करनी पड़ेंगी. So you will use the parenthesis. Within bracket you will put 2 plus 3 then multiply by 4. अब parenthesis have got the highest precedence. पहले parenthesis को solve कर देगा system जो है. So 2 plus 3 add हो जाएंगे. अब इसको 4 से multiply करेंगे तो answer will be 20. So you can use parenthesis to overrule the precedence of the operator. कुछ चीजें और भी हैं. Some more concepts that you must know. When you mix up integer with double, अब integer का size suppose 16-bit और double का size suppose 32-bit. You multiply an integer x, या you add 4.3 to x where x is an integer. ऐसी सूरत में system promotes the lower data type to the longer data type. ठीक? So x will be promoted to double and the result will be a double, means x plus 4.3 का जो आंसर आएगा that is not integer but that will be a double. How can you pick it up? We will discuss it later on, but at this stage you should know that whenever you mix up two data types, one is lower in size, one is higher in size, then the system automatically promotes one to the other. Integer division. When you divide x with 3 and x is an integer, answer क्या आना चाहिए? 1.66. Suppose if x is equal to 5 or you divide 5 by 3, the answer should be 1.66. But if your x is an integer, then the answer is not 1.66 because 1.66 is not an integer value. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? The fraction part will be dropped and your result, because you are dividing x with 3, so basically the system will pick up integer division. So integer division का answer integer में आना चाहिए. Okay, so the answer will be equal to, क्या आंसर आएगा? 1, not 1.66. I have already explained you that you can use parenthesis to force different order of evaluation. अगर आप ऑर्डर ऑफ वैल्यूएशन चेंज करना चाहते हैं, जैसा कि हमने पिछली स्लाइड में किया था, 2 plus 3 में पैरेंथेसिस यूज करवी थी, मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 4. सिमिलरली हम अगर 12 में से 5 माइनस करना चाहते हैं पहले, so 12 minus 5 is 7, multiplied by 4 is 14, so we have used the parenthesis here. Arithmetic operator precedence. Precedence rules specify the order in which operators are evaluated. Associativity determines whether it is from left to right or from right to left. So it determines the order in which the operator is associated with the data type. In order to remember, for arithmetic operators, people use a term PEMDAS. PEMDAS. This, अगर ये सारी situation हो, तो precedence क्या होगा? Parenthesis, then multiplication, then division, then addition, then subtraction. लेकिन बी केयरफुल, डिवीजन एंड मल्टीप्लिकेशन में विच एवर कम्स फर्स्ट फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लिकेशन लेफ्ट पे है, डिवीजन राइट पे है, लिहाजा हमसे कहेंगे पहले पैरेंथेसिस, देन मल्टीप्लिकेशन, देन डिवीजन। एडिशन एंड सब्ट्रैक्ट, एएस एडिशन पहले है, सब्ट्रैक्शन बाद में है, therefore the precedence is addition and subtraction. So PEMDAS, this is a terminology people use it to remember the order, to remember the sequence. There are few more operators which are called bitwise operators. Not, shift left, shift right, bitwise and, exclusive or that I will teach you in future. So we just take it on few more operators, but before that I would like to caution you to be very careful between equality operator and assignment operator. Most of the time the students are confused with the assignment operator and equality operator. So I would like to explain you with the help of an example. X is equal to 5, y is equal to 7. If x equal 5, printf will not be printed. If x equal y, then printf x is equal to y and y is equal to %d. I will explain you later on this printf function. It's new for you, but here I just would like to give you a caution regarding this operator, which is called an equality operator, and this operator that we have already discussed as a assignment operator. The first operator compares x with y, and this is called a relational operator that we will discuss later on. Whereas x equal y is an assignment operator which assigns the value of y to x. The value of y is assigned to x, then it is a non-zero value. Its mean non-zero value is considered as equal to true. So the second part of the printf will be executed. The first printf statement will not be executed. The second printf statement will be executed. So please, you have to be just to give you a caution between equality and assignment operator. I have used this slide, but if you are unable to understand this particular concept, don't worry, I will explain you later on after I discuss the other very important operators. With the assignment operator, we can use some more operators which are special operator, plus plus and minus minus, increment and decrement operators. The value of the variable before and after is used in the expression is incremented or decremented. For example, when we use plus plus symbol, we can use it with x plus plus. Since x plus plus, the plus plus is after the variable, so we call it as increment after. In the next example, we have used x minus minus. This minus minus is after the variable, therefore it is called decrement after. What does it mean? The value of x, whatever the contents of the x are, will be used in the expression, and after using the expression, the contents of the variable will automatically be incremented. It means that we have combined two statements in one single statement. कि x की वैल्यू को यूज करो यूज करने के बाद इसको इंक्रीमेंट कर दो. इट इज कॉल्ड ऑटो इंक्रीमेंट, इंक्रीमेंट आफ्टर, और डिक्रीमेंट आफ्टर, ऑटो डिक्रीमेंट और ऑटो इंक्रीमेंट. The same concept we can use it as plus plus x or minus minus x. Here the contents are incremented first before using it in the expression. Minus minus x, the contents are decremented first before they are used in the expression. तो फर्क समझ में आया आपका? After means increment or decrement. After means increment or decrement the contents after using it in the expressions. Increment before or decrement before means update the contents before using it into the expressions. So since they are related to the addition and subtraction, so I have decided to discuss it at this stage. So let us take an example. Integer x, y is equal to x plus plus. As I said, as I have already promised that I will explain you the printf statement later on in the next lecture. Here the purpose is just to show you what will be the content of x and y. अब स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 में अगर हम देखें y is equal to plus plus, y is equal to x plus plus, x की वैल्यू है 4, 4 will be assigned to y and then the value of x will be incremented. जब हम इस स्टेटमेंट को यूज करेंगे to print the contents of x and y, तो x के contents will be equal to 5 और y के contents will be equal to 4. क्यों? क्योंकि इस पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट के अंदर x के कंटेंट्स जो हैं वो हमने इंक्रीमेंट कर दिए हैं. वी सेड x प्लस प्लस 5, लेकिन ये हमने इंक्रीमेंट किया है आफ्टर असाइनिंग द वैल्यू ऑफ 4 टू y. इट इज इंक्रीमेंट आफ्टर. देयरफॉर व्हेन वी विल प्रिंट द वैल्यू ऑफ x एंड y, x की वैल्यू विल बी इक्वल टू 5 एंड y की वैल्यू विल बी इक्वल टू 4. Example 2, x is equal to 4, y is equal to plus plus x. Now, the content of x will be incremented first before assigning it to y. So, यहाँ पर पहले x के contents में एक increment होगा, एक add होगा, x के contents हो जाएंगे 5, then it will be assigned to y. So when we will print the contents of x and y, both will be printed as 5. इसी concept को we can extend with multiplication, division, modulo and some other operators that we will study later on. So we can say that instead of saying x is equal to x plus y, we can say that x plus equal y, which the system will read as x is equal to x plus y. Similarly, x minus equal y will be translated as x is equal to x minus y. X multiplied by equal y will be translated as x is equal to x multiplied by y. So the arithmetic operators and bitwise operator can be combined with assignment operators, but in a different way here. X divided by y we can write down as x slash equal y will be translated as x divided by y. Okay, x modulo y we can translate it, but we can use it as x modulo equal y. The remaining, since I have not taught you the bitwise operator, so I will come back to these concepts later on. There is another very special operator which is called conditional operator. This conditional operator is a combination of question mark and colon. This is not semicolon, this is colon. Question mark and colon is interpreted as a single operator. Purpose is to perform conditional. So example is x question mark y colon. Very interesting meaning. It will compare x with y. If x is non-zero, means it has some value, it is treated as a true, then the result of the expression will be equal to y. But if x is 0, means false, then the result of the expression will be equal to z. So x question mark y colon z is treated as, if x question mark y is true, then the output of expression is equal to y, otherwise the output of the expression will be equal to z. So we will also discuss it or repeat it in future when I will discuss some more operators called equality operators or relational operators. We have not discussed bitwise operators and we have not discussed the relational operators. We will discuss it in the next lecture. So whatever we have discussed so far regarding the arithmetic operators, you can easily take up this quiz, which is a practice quiz. Solve the following expressions. 3 minus 8 divided by 4, 3 multiplied by 4 plus 18 divided by 2. So what is the answer of these arithmetic expressions? Let us solve this. First we'll solve A. 3 minus 8 divided by 4. There is a competition between minus and slash. And as you know, division operator, slash operator has higher precedence over minus. So 8 divided by 4 will be executed first. So 8 divided by 2, 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Then you have 3 minus 2, the answer is equal to 1. Next, 3 multiplied by 4 plus 18 divided by 2. Now here you have got 1, 2, 3. You have got 1, multiplication, addition and division. So start solving it from left to right. 3 multiplied by 4 plus 18. So obviously multiplication has higher precedence over plus. So 3 multiplied by 4 will be evaluated first, equal to 12. Next, should we add 12 with 18 or should we perform 18 divided by 2 first? Since plus and slash, the winner is slash, has higher precedence over plus, so it will be executed first. So 18 divided by 2, the answer is 9. And then you can add 12 plus 9, the answer is 21. Okay? You can take up another quiz. Suppose A is equal to 2, B is equal to 4, C is equal to 6 and D is equal to 8. Then what should be the output of this expression? A multiplied by B plus C multiplied by D divided by 4. It will be solved as, मैंने आपसे कहा था, you can use parenthesis. So first of all, it will perform the operation between A multiplied by B. So we have placed the bracket A multiplied by B. Then Between plus and multiplication, it has got higher precedence. Then multiplication and division, they have got the same precedence level, but since multiplication comes first from left to right, so the winner is multiplication. So the next it will execute C multiplied by D. Now we have got one operand, A multiplied by B. Second, we have got C multiplied by D. Then we have divide by 4. What should be the next? The competition is between plus and division. The division is the winner. So we will put the parenthesis here so that the division should be executed first. So 6 multiplied by 8 divided by 4, the answer is 12. Here the 2 multiplied by 4, the answer is 8. And finally, this plus will be executed. So this is another way to solve any arithmetic expression, that you start scanning the expression from left to right, put the parenthesis in the order where you consider that is the order of execution. So that will be an easy way to solve any arithmetic expression according to their precedence level. So I just give you another practice quiz. Here I have just used minus and plus. 5 minus 3 plus 4 plus 2 minus 1 plus 7. So all the operators have the same precedence level. Can we put the parenthesis to it? Yes. Since plus and minus have all the equal precedence, so this expression is evaluated from left to right. So just keep on putting the parenthesis. सबसे पहले execute होगा 5 minus 3. So we put a parenthesis 5 minus 3. Then it will add 4. Then it will add 2. Then it will subtract from the answer minus 1. Then you will add 7 to the answer. So the innermost parentheses are evaluated first. If you have all the precedence, all the operators having the same precedence level, then whichever comes first from left to right is the winner. So that's the way you can also perform the calculation of any arithmetic expression. So with this, we have concluded and completed the concepts that I wanted to discuss it in this lecture. Kindly go through all the slides, repeat these slides, listen carefully to the instructions, the explanations that I have provided, and I'm sure you should be able to learn all these concepts. With this, Allah Hafiz.